Good morning, beautiful people. Hoping this message finds you well and safe. Uh, Needed to take a minute, take a break from what I was doing, so I thought I would connect with all of you. So this is one of those where, if you've been in a room with me lately, I've been pointing out something Mama would say on important topics that require a little more space, if you will. And what Mama would say is, she'd say, "Boy, will you please make room for me? Make room for me." And what I understood by that was, I know you have a lot on your plate. I know you have a lot on your mind. But I need you to clear some of that out and make a little space for me so we can have a conversation. So with that, family, I'm going to ask, will you please make a little room for me for this one? So this is where I'll start. Asking someone, what did it cost you, is a very different question than at what cost. What did that cost you and at what cost are not the same questions. And so for those of us having a lot of conversations rooted in this concept of belonging or DEI, I thought I would give everybody something to think about in terms of a critical thinking exercise. So let's take these three words: luck, privileged, and blessed. Luck, privilege, and blessed. I hear a lot of people, they'll point at somebody else, and it's interesting to me when I hear them go, "Oh, you're so lucky," and somebody will go, "That's that privilege right there. That's privilege," or somebody will say, "They're blessed." Right? But what's not clear to me is understanding the difference in how they used it. So here's what I want you to think about first, and maybe I'll turn this into a series, but here's what I want you to think about first. At what cost are you willing to put yourself in a position to be lucky? At what cost are you willing to put yourself in a position of privilege? And at what cost are you willing to be deemed as being blessed? So, for example, for the visual learners in the room, let's take the lottery, right? So, I don't know, I think today's Friday, and Mega Millions, Powerball, I don't know, one of them's like 300 something million, right? It cost $2 to play the game. At what cost are you willing to win it? That's not the same question. It costs $2. At what cost are you willing to win it? At what cost are you willing to put yourself in a position to have all that comes with winning $300 million, right? You see all these TV shows, the lottery ruined my life. They weren't thinking that when they bought a ticket. They weren't thinking that the day they won. They probably weren't thinking that the first week they won. But how did you end up on a show where it ruined your life, right? So for luck, privilege, and blessed, this is how I want to start it. I arrive at this intersection with you believing that everything of value comes at a cost. Everything of value comes at a cost. All these diplomas behind my head cost me something. At what cost was I willing to obtain them? So that's all I want you to think about and apply to this concept of belonging. Luck, privileged, blessed. Explicit to privilege. What does it cost you to achieve privilege? At what cost are you willing to be in a position of privilege? That's it. So that's why I needed you to make room for me. I'll tell you where this matters. It matters to me when I watch people weaponize things that are not inherently bad. I do not believe privilege to be an inherently bad thing. In fact, what people seem to never be able to answer for me is, what if privilege was the goal? What if it was the goal? What if you're born in a condition where you see privilege as the goal because it'll help solve all your problems, and then you get in a position of privilege and then people then demonize you, right? Like it's weaponized. But we never celebrate if privilege was the goal and a person accomplishes it. So I do not want to introduce another topic into the conversation. For purposes of this conversation, luck, privilege, blessed. Cost, what did it cost you to be that? At what cost are you willing to be that? And explicit to privilege, what does it cost you to be in a position of privilege? At what cost are you willing to be in a position of privilege? That's it. That's all I wanted you to think about. I do hope this message is finding you all well and safe and healthy and patient and diligent. I hope it finds you giving yourself permission to make some space, make some room for this conversation in your head, because if you can see it before you see it, I do believe it will influence the steps you take to accomplishing your goal. And of course, I hope this is finding you thinking. Stay safe, everybody. Hope this message is finding you warm, and I look forward to seeing you next time.